Have you ever had one of those days where you walk into a room and just stand there, wondering what on earth you came in for? Or maybe you find yourself rereading the same line in a book 3 times before it sinks in. You might brush it off as just getting older, but what if part of the problem was something as simple as how you're drinking water? Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, I've been drinking water my whole life. How could I be doing it wrong? And that's totally fair. But here's the thing, as we age, our bodies change, and so do our needs. The way we hydrate in our 60s, 70s, and beyond isn't quite the same as when we were 30. And yes, believe it or not, certain water drinking habits can actually impact your memory, your focus, and even your mood. So in today's video, we're diving into something that sounds incredibly simple, drinking water, but we're going to uncover 3 common mistakes that many people over 65 make without even realizing it. These small habits may be quietly draining your mental clarity and energy, and the good news is, with a few small adjustments, you can feel sharper, more alert, and more in control of your day. Let's start with the first one, and it might surprise you. It's not drinking enough water in the morning. I get it, mornings can feel slow, stiff, and a bit foggy. You might wake up and head straight for the coffee maker, or maybe you don't feel very thirsty at all when you first get up. But here's the truth, after 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is dehydrated. You haven't had a single sip of water all night. And your brain? It's craving hydration more than anything else. Think of your brain like a sponge. When it's dry, it doesn't work properly. It struggles to absorb, to connect, and to focus. Studies have shown that even mild dehydration can reduce memory performance, especially short-term recall. That morning fog we often joke about? A lot of it is simply due to being slightly dehydrated. And the older we get, the more sensitive we become to even small drops in hydration. Unlike when we were younger, our thirst signals become weaker. So we don't always feel thirsty even when our body truly needs water. That's why relying on thirst alone to tell us when to drink can be misleading. One of the simplest things you can do is make it a habit to drink a full glass of water first thing in the morning, before the coffee, before breakfast, even before brushing your teeth if possible. It's like giving your brain a fresh start. You'd be surprised how much clearer and more focused you feel, just from that one glass. If cold water feels too harsh first thing, go for room temperature or warm water with a squeeze of lemon. It's gentle, refreshing, and gives your brain exactly what it needs to shake off the fog and get going. Now, the second mistake often happens on the other side of the day, not drinking enough water because you're trying to avoid nighttime trips to the bathroom. This one's tricky, because yes, sleep is important, and no one likes being woken up at 2 a.m. with the urge to go. But here's where we can find a better balance. Many people stop drinking water too early in the evening, sometimes as early as 5 p.m., out of fear they'll be up all night. And while the intention is good, the result is often unintended dehydration. Here's why that matters. Your brain does a lot of important work while you sleep. It clears out toxins, processes memories, and literally cleans house. And to do that job properly, it needs water. If you go to bed slightly dehydrated, that overnight maintenance system doesn't work as well. It's like trying to clean your kitchen with no water running. You can still wipe things down, but you're not getting the deep clean. Instead of cutting off water too early, try adjusting when and how much you drink. Focus on getting most of your hydration earlier in the day, between breakfast and mid-afternoon. Then, in the evening, taper off gradually. Sip, don't chug. That way, you're staying hydrated without overloading your bladder right before bed. Another tip is to watch the types of drinks you have at night. Beverages like tea, especially herbal or caffeine-free, are often gentler on the bladder. Avoiding heavy salty snacks in the evening can also help reduce thirst and fluid retention overnight. Now, you might be thinking, but isn't all this a bit over the top for just water? And I get that. But when your brain feels foggy, when words don't come as easily, or you forget what you were saying mid-sentence, it's not always about something big and scary. Sometimes it's just a sign that your brain needs a little more support. And water, though simple, is one of the most powerful tools we have. So before reaching for a memory supplement, before blaming your age, or getting frustrated with yourself, try checking in with how you're hydrating throughout the day. Because when the brain doesn't have what it needs, it can't function the way it's meant to. Now that we've talked about mornings and evenings, there's one more water habit that often flies under the radar, but has a surprisingly strong link to mental clarity. And that's not drinking water consistently throughout the day. You see, a lot of people think if they drink a few big glasses of water here and there, they're covered. But the brain doesn't quite work that way. It doesn't just want a flood of water in the morning and then nothing for hours. It wants a steady stream, gentle, regular hydration that supports it through the whole day. Have you ever noticed that some days you feel great in the morning, but by mid-afternoon you're a little sluggish, maybe a bit forgetful or irritable? That midday slump isn't always just about food or energy. Often, it's your body, and especially your brain, saying, "Hey, I'm drying out over here." What's tricky is that after 65, the signals your body sends can get quieter. Thirst doesn't shout the way it used to. Instead, it might whisper through things like brain fog, tension in the head, dry skin, or even a bit of lightheadedness. If you find yourself suddenly standing in the kitchen unsure of what you came in for, or rereading the same instructions twice, it might not be your memory fading. It might be your brain asking for a sip of water. The key here is gentle consistency. Try sipping water regularly instead of going hours without it. You don't need to carry around a giant jug or count every ounce, just keep a glass or bottle nearby. Take little sips when you check your phone, during TV commercials, or between conversations. Make hydration part of your rhythm. Now, one thing I often hear is, "But I don't like plain water." And that's completely fair. The good news is, water doesn't have to be boring. You can infuse it with slices of cucumber, lemon, berries, or even a few sprigs of mint. That little burst of flavor can make all the difference, and it might encourage you to drink more without even thinking about it. Another trick is to pair your water with moments in your day. For example, every time you sit down to read, take a sip. Every time you switch activities, maybe from folding laundry to calling a friend, pause and drink a bit. These small habits help create natural checkpoints for your body and brain. And if you're someone who takes medications or supplements during the day, those are perfect hydration anchors. Instead of just swallowing a pill and moving on, take an extra moment to drink a full glass of water with it. That helps your digestion, absorption, and keeps your brain functioning more smoothly. Now, something else to keep in mind, hydration is also about what we don't drink too much of. Beverages like coffee, black tea, and alcohol may be part of your daily routine, and that's perfectly okay in moderation. But all three can pull water out of the body. That doesn't mean you need to give them up entirely. Just be aware that for every cup of coffee, for example, you may need a little extra water to stay balanced. Let's not forget how hydration affects mood, too. We often focus on memory and brain fog, but emotions are tied to hydration in a big way. Mild dehydration has been linked to increased anxiety, irritability, and even sadness. So, when you're feeling just a little off and can't quite put your finger on why, ask yourself, when was the last time I had a drink of water? You might be surprised how often the answer is not recently. And here's a little bonus that often goes unnoticed. Staying hydrated helps with blood flow to the brain. Good circulation keeps oxygen and nutrients moving, and your brain loves that. It needs that constant delivery to do its best work, whether you're doing a crossword puzzle, remembering someone's name, or just enjoying your favorite book without losing your place every few minutes. One of the most powerful things about water is how quickly it can help. Unlike some changes that take weeks to notice, a well-hydrated brain often feels better within a few hours. You may feel more focused, lighter, and even a little more upbeat. That's because your brain is more than 70% water. It's literally designed to work best when it's properly hydrated. So, to bring it all together, many of us have spent our whole lives drinking water without ever really thinking about how we do it. But as we age, the details matter more. Starting your day with water, hydrating smartly in the evening, and sipping consistently throughout the day may seem simple, but these small changes can make a powerful difference. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need fancy supplements or expensive health drinks. You just need to listen to your body, keep a glass nearby, and treat your brain to the hydration it's quietly asking for. And remember, taking care of your brain doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as gentle and natural as pouring a glass of water and taking a few mindful sips. You deserve to feel clear-headed, energized, and capable every single day. Let's keep going, because your health, your memory, and your peace of mind are all worth it. Because every step you take toward better hydration is a step toward clearer thinking, a stronger memory, and feeling more like yourself again. And the best part? It doesn't require major changes or complicated routines. Just a little bit of awareness and a lot of self-care. Think about it, your brain is your command center. It helps you remember birthdays, where you left your keys, your favorite memories from 30 years ago, and what you were just about to say before you walked into the room. And like any important part of your body, it deserves to be taken care of gently and consistently. Water might seem small, but for your brain, it's everything. Let's take a moment to reflect on the key things we've talked about. If you've ever skipped that morning glass of water or gone the whole afternoon without taking a sip, now you know how much that can affect your memory and focus. If you've gotten into the habit of drinking too much water right before bed, you've seen how that can disrupt your sleep, and how poor sleep, in turn, makes memory foggy and days feel harder. And if you've thought sipping water throughout the day wasn't important, or maybe it just didn't cross your mind before, you've now got a small but powerful new tool. A simple glass of water at the right time can brighten your mood, sharpen your thoughts, and even help you feel more present in conversations. Small shifts, repeated daily, have a huge impact over time. That's the beautiful thing about this stage in life. You don't need to rush, hustle, or push through. You get to slow down and listen. You get to take a breath, sip a little water, and say, "This moment matters." I know life after 60 can feel like a whole new chapter, sometimes a little uncertain, sometimes a little slower, but also deeply full of wisdom, freedom, and opportunity. And part of that freedom is learning how to tune into what your body really needs. Not what the magazines say. Not what the loud voices on TV shout at you. But what your body is gently whispering every day. And your brain? It's not asking for perfection. It's asking for support. A little hydration. A little kindness. A little routine that tells it, "I've got you." You are not forgetful. You are not broken. You are not losing it. You are human. And as humans age, the little things matter more, not less. So, starting today, be kind to your brain. Pour that glass of water in the morning before the coffee. Sip a little before your evening show. Keep a small glass nearby when you're on the phone with your kids or playing with the grandkids. Build those little hydration habits into your life not as chores, but as gifts. If any part of this message spoke to you, I'd love to hear about it. Have you noticed moments when staying hydrated made a difference in how you felt? Or do you have a favorite way to make water more enjoyable, maybe with lemon or berries or a slice of cucumber? Share it in the comments. You never know who you might help just by sharing your story. And if you found this video helpful, please take a second to give it a thumbs up. It helps more people discover it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you'd like more simple, encouraging tips like this one. We talk a lot about how to feel better, think more clearly, and stay strong at every stage of life. Because you deserve that. Here's the truth, friend, age doesn't mean decline. It means change. And when you understand those changes, and respond to them with compassion and action, you don't just survive. You thrive. So let's raise a glass, yes, a glass of water, to clearer minds, calmer days, and the beautiful, vibrant brain that's still full of potential. Here's to living your best life, one sip at a time.